Ellis's viral posts led Ellis to fear for her safety, requiring private security. And a Minecraft movie is set to dominate the box office again, expected to make $65 to $82 million this weekend. It debuted with $162 million, the best opening of the year. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
Whoa, now. What's happening, good people? What's going on with you? How you doing? Hoping everything is all right. Hoping everything is kosher with you and ready to have some good old conversation because we got to talk. We have got to talk. I was thinking more about, when we had our conversation yesterday with Mr. Minna, who is our representative for District 23. And as I was thinking about that conversation, some stuff came in overnight that made me go, well, now, this might be a reason to pick up the phone and have another conversation with Mr. Minna. Why so? Because one of my great folks that listens to this show, she's on top of her stuff, sent me a text message and said, you need to pay attention to these new bills that are coming in because the new session, which starts on Monday, and whenever Lisa sends me out a text message, I know it's something of importance. And I'll just be frank. Lisa either is saying, wow, I didn't know that, which is very seldom. 2, congratulations on a great show, and I thank her all the time. But the most important is information that she's got that I may not have, and she lets me know. So she sent me this text message that I wanted to read today so that everybody that is affected by it may be aware of it. It says, attention current and retired state employees. Your voice is needed. A constitutional amendment to change the state civil service system is back. Senator Jay Morris has filed Senate Bill 8 for the upcoming legislative session beginning April 14th. For those of you that don't know, April 14th is next Monday. This bill mirrors the same language from Senate Bill 181 of the 2024 regular legislative session, which failed the House of Representatives by only 2 votes. The measure would allow the legislative and the legislature the authority to convert classified positions into unclassified positions, and the employees would become at-will employees. This means the employer, the state of Louisiana, could dismiss, terminate an employee for any reason without warning, jeopardizing the employee's position and their future retirement benefits for those still working and not yet retired. Active state employees are encouraged to join RSEA, as our mission is to protect and defend current employees and future retirees' health care and retirement benefits. As proposed, Senate Bill 8 would change the nomination process for the state civil service commissioners and grant the legislature the authority to remove positions from the classified service. This bill could have far-reaching impacts for current and retired state employees. We are asking that you join us in using your voice to contact your representatives and senators to oppose the bill and any changes to the classified civil service system. When contacting your legislators, do not use state equipment, computers, or phones, and use your personal email address, phone numbers, and do not do any communication while on state time while at work. Please see the link below and call the email, which she sent it to me, and I'll try to post it. The members of the Senate Gubernatorial Affairs Committee, and ask them to oppose Senate Bill 8 in committee. Also, contact your own senator and or representative and ask them to oppose Senate Bill 8. Feel free to share this post with your friends, relatives, or coworkers and ask them to contact their legislators and oppose Senate Bill 8. As always, RSEA will be monitoring the 2025 regular legislative session for any and all bills impacting our current and retired state employees. Please help us get the word out to all affected stakeholders and encourage your current state employees to join RSEA and help support our advocacy. We will continue to update all members throughout the legislative session. So, and RSEA stands for Retired State Employees Association, by the way. Senate Bill 8. So, what you just heard, what you're just hearing, have you checked it out? Have you heard this? And if you're hearing what I just read, and I'm hoping that you just paid attention and got questions, come on, y'all. 504-582-9422. 504-582-9422. Are you paying attention? Did you hear what we're just talking about? And why is this important to say, oh, no? Why is this important to say, oh, no? Do I need to read it again? Do I need to put because I know I may have caught you off guard. I'll be more than happy to explain it to you, but I'm trying to figure out, did you get it? Did you get it? Don't y'all leave me hanging on this, because I don't want us to be all upset when it do pass, if it passes. And y'all can't tell me you're not going to get up and be on your representative's butt about it, because this is important. So come on, 504-582-9422. What did I just read? What do you mean? Senate Bill 8. What will it do? What will it change? What's the pluses and the minuses? What are, if there are any pluses? What is it? What makes you go, oh no? What category will this put you in, especially if you got protections from any other job, civil service, with the civil service statute? Do you really understand? Now, if you want me to, I'll just sit here and wait for you, because I know some of you may be thinking about it and be like, you know what? I can explain that, I think. But I'm trying to put you in the position, all right? So that's number one. So remember that, okay? That's the first thing we're going to talk about. Second thing, and this one's going to heat it up today, I know. Louisiana Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple. We brought him up yesterday, too. I don't know about y'all, but I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired about complaining that my insurance rates for my house, my insurance rates for my car are just too damn high. And we are giving in to the insurance companies to the point where we're letting them have increases in the amount that they are charging us, and he's not intervening on behalf of the citizens of Louisiana. But yet, every single time that I've checked the war chest of every insurance commissioner, they got plenty money to run for office. And if you go down the list of who's donating to their campaign, it's usually those folks that are associated with, running, friends of, family members of those folks in the insurance agencies. And if you talk about being pissed off, I'm sorry, you can't tell me that that's just fine to do. Any insurance agency that is given to the person that says, hey, look, I got to be for my folks instead of for y'all, probably would not have that much money to run for office. And you got to run statewide. So how much is that going to cost you? Anywhere from about $250,000 to $1 million, depending upon how bad the competition is. But I'm sitting back and saying to myself, as Tim Temple was making a conversation piece on the news 2 days ago, talking about, this is what we need to let you know about why they are letting the numbers go up when it comes to providing you insurance. It makes you want to register especially your vehicle, in another state. I have never seen anything like this anywhere else. And I was wondering why until I started looking at the stats and starting to figure out that we're somewhere close to the top, either one or two, depending upon what time of the year it is, with folks saying my insurance costs too much. Oh, yeah, by the way, did I say my insurance costs too much? My damn insurance costs too much. I'm like old boy in New York. The rent too damn high. But I'm thinking to myself, if enough people would do like what they're doing now, so all those folks that voted for the orange man, y'all were like, yay, yay, yay. Now he done pissed y'all off because y'all losing in your 401ks, you're losing your little career jobs, your little government jobs. I ain't say government, I said government. You're losing your government jobs. You're getting all your kids thrown out because of the fact that they were new to the job. Y'all thought that was just, my kid's going to be able to come in here and pick up a legacy job. I didn't know that these governmental jobs were legacy jobs. And now that that's not happening, you mad at, but I'm trying to tell you, what's her name told you that a long time ago. This is where you were going to be. But y'all didn't believe it. So guess what? I guess he said, I can show you better than I can tell you. I can show you better than I can tell you. And he's showing you. Now you're like, oh, all upset. Oh, Lord. And I don't know what happened to our Latino community. You all jumped on that bandwagon too. Trump is going to, no. Trump gonna send your butt on the other side of the border. And he did, including the ones that got clearance. And let me tell you something else. If he's sending you over there and you got clearance to do so, and even the Supreme Court said you don't have the authority, Mr. Judge, to tell them to bring them back, guess what? They're gonna make some more mistakes. Oops. We took them and put them on a plane. Now they're in another country. Oops. Well, they're citizens. They're Americans. No, they're not. They are now citizens of another country. And they're going to have to stay over there. In jail without no bail. In jail. I can go on and on and on about that one, but I'm not. I'm going to go back to where I was, talking about your friend, Tim Temple, is going to be my second conversation. Might be my first one, depending on what's on your mind. But I'm really hoping that you all are thinking about this civil service protection. Senate Bill 8 is coming up on Monday. Let them vote on it and take away them protections. Let them vote on it and let them take away the protections. They take away those civil service protections. What's going to happen? Somebody please tell me what's going to happen. I'm telling you now it's going to happen. I might sound like Kamala Harris. Oh, Lord, did I say her name? Y'all know, y'all don't like to hear her name no more. If he takes away those civil service protections, what's going to happen? 504 582 9422. As I was talking to Mr. Minna on yesterday, we all knew that something was coming. Something was coming. What it was, we didn't know. But I can almost guarantee, that this is the indicator right here. The indicator will get you every single time. Every single time. Mr. Elmo.
Hey, buddy.
What's going on with you?
Oh, man. Well, you just said it, man. I mean, if those bills are passed, people who have government jobs in the state will lose their protection, whatever the little they already got, man. I mean, the deal leader that's doing what he's doing, the governor, he's a crony of him. He's going to do the same, try to keep people from not getting their benefits. You know what's going to happen.
Well, that's not where I was going, but you might be right on that one.
I think it's kind of like, I mean, see, all that started, the conservative movement, and all that started, if you remember, Treen, their right to work. That all started basically with him. I mean, right to work. That's why very few jobs there's unions.
Mm-hmm.
Right to work. And that started a long time ago. So they're just nitpicking where you won't have no protection with no type of job. You know, that's where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
If they start at the state, federal level, you know they could do it local levels of jobs. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the sort of beginning of the labor movement in terms on rights. What rights will you particularly have? You don't have none.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So it's kind of dangerous, man, where we're going with.
There's a little bit more to it than just that one. I want you to think
I'm
a little bit.
I'm sure it's more.
Because I want everybody to understand something. And this is an indicator. This really is an indicator. And I don't know if anybody's paying attention to it as an indicator. So if this is an indicator, what is it indicating? That's what I want you to think about. I know that.
Well, that's why I'm listening. Well, look, that's why I'm listening to you, because you just educate me what the deal is. The start of what else could happen with that. You know, I mean, what a lot of people understand, when they start taking away rights of some people, they can take rights for all. And I don't care if it's employment, health benefits, just education. You know, once they start with one thing, sometimes people think, oh, it won't happen to me, or they won't do that, but they're doing it right in front of your face.
and
you know,
and this is going to be right in front of your face.
Right, exactly. Now, don't laugh, Gerald. When is enough going to be enough?
Oh no, this is definitely the start of something that's evil. And I don't know if people really are paying attention to the point where this is going to be something that's evil. And then we're going to be all messed up, and people are going to be like, oh, Lord, what didn't happen? And this is this. Like, watch. Just watch. I'm gonna tell you.
Well, you see,
you want me to stop playing? You want me to stop playing and tell everybody? I'm gonna tell everybody. Give me a minute. Let me take my break. I'm gonna tell you in a minute.
all right, buddy.
All right, Mr. Elmore. Thank you much.
All right, buddy. All right, fine.
All right. More coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
Late nights are made for chillin', and you can do just that every Sunday night at 10 p.m. as DJ Wick brings you The Love Zone. It's the perfect way to top off your weekend with your favorite old and new school ballads. So sit back, relax, and let DJ Wick take you to the Love Zone on WBOK 1230 a.m. and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
Hi, this is Arnie Filko. Let's elevate every Tuesday through Thursday from 6 to 7 o'clock p.m. as we discuss the community, the country, and the world, from politics to current events to sports. We look forward to your input and continuing the quality programming on your community station, WBOK. Join Carrie and I every Tuesday through Thursday, 6 to 7 o'clock p.m. on Elevated Conversations, the Arnie and Carrie Show. See you soon.
WBOK and LCMC Health are proud to present Keeping You Well Cafe. 60 minutes with LCMC Health, where the doctors speak directly to the people of New Orleans. LCMC Health is committed to improving the quality of care here in New Orleans, the Gulf South, and beyond. The Keeping You Well Cafe is another way for LCMC Health to engage with the community. At the Keeping You Well Cafe, LCMC Health joins WBOK and local businesses to answer your questions about wellness and health.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Hot. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Gerard Stevens with you. What's today? Thursday? Lose track of days around here these days. I don't know. Is that old age or what? You just lose track of the days. Be like, what's the day? Is it Wednesday? No, it's Thursday. That much closer to the weekend. Good for you. All right, 504-582-9422 is the number to get in contact with me. So, before I even get into that, let me say to the family of the 6-year-old boy who was just getting ready for school this morning and had jumped out his mom's car to get on the bus. To the family of this young man who was hit and killed as he was struck by a school bus this morning off of St. Claude in the St. Claude neighborhood. I think it was the 1400 block of Desire Street. He was getting out of his mom's car. And the boy, who was Mason Richards, was ready to go to KIPP leadership to go to school. And this was, I know it was a mistake. I feel for not only just for this family, but I could imagine the bus driver who had no idea that this was going on, because they said that she didn't even know she hit the boy, and she was still moving and was dragging the boy underneath the bus. Little Mason was killed this morning. Mason Richards, six years old. My heart goes out to his family and all those youngsters who are not going to see their friend anymore in school. And I know they got grief counselors at the school for those kids. So, tragic accident. And I know that this is going to be a hurting moment for this family. So, prayers go out to the Richards family, the KIPP leadership family, the family of this bus driver, and anyone in that neighborhood that knew this little boy and even saw what went on. That's got to be stressful in itself. So God bless him. Just know that he's with the angels. All right. Back to my conversation piece, and I'm going to do this for Mr. Elmore. As we talk about and as we say that this is going to be interesting, that the state of Louisiana, okay, I'll start here because it does sound like to me that the state of Louisiana has become a S show. A what? A S show. Y'all fill in the S, whatever you want to. Because it's starting to sound to me that there's something always, some trickery, some buffoonery, something that is going on there. And it makes me say to anyone that will listen, pay attention to the bills that are coming that are sounding like trickery. I didn't say chicory. I said trickery. Well, why so? So, Senate Bill 8, which will be put in position on Monday. Senate Bill 8 is to get rid of your status if you are protected. It's a constitutional amendment to change the state civil service system. Senate Bill 8. It was written up by Senator Jay Morris. And it is coming to the legislative session, and that's beginning April 14th. The bill seems like the one that we brought up last year, 2024, regular legislative session, but failed the House of Representatives, and it only did it by 2 votes. So here it is, Mr. Elmore. Listen to me good. Listen to me good now. Listen to me good. The measure would allow the legislature the authority to convert classified positions, and get you to change those classified positions to unclassified positions. And the employees will then become at-will employees. Okay? That's enough said right there. So how many of these employees that are in civil service protections or has those civil service protections then become at-will employees, and guess what I'm going to be able to do? I'm going to be able to come back and say, well, you know what? We have a deficit too, just like we do in the country. We're going to let some people go too. Then you will see that there is a Louisiana Doge. Then you will see and hear about the number of people that we need to be telling to take a package and get out because we need to redo our budgeting. And it starts with the employees. But if I got civil service protections, you can't just let me go. I'm protected. I'm one of those that can stay around here until I retire. But if I'm an at-will employee and I don't have nobody standing up for me, and I can sit around and say, wait a minute, I got how many more weeks until I'm going to be fired? Just like those folks up in Washington, D.C. I'm telling you, we don't do nothing but follow the hand that's being led from upstate. And let me kind of put this in here. Then maybe this will get my phone to ring because y'all will understand something. Especially City Hall. How many folks look like me and you that are working in city government? I ain't talking about state government, city government that has civil service protections that are in City Hall right here in New Orleans. After everybody done said, your man up in Baton Rouge want control of the city. Is that true? Is that the start? Because I can guarantee you, a lot of it going to start right here. A lot of it going to start in Baton Rouge. A lot of it going to start everywhere else. And what systems in government have civil service protections? What systems? Clerks? Judges? All those folks that have a particular skill? Y'all remember it was almost done here one time before. We started hiring unclassified. Y'all remember this? I don't know. Somebody please call me and tell me y'all remember this. We had started, instead of trying to get rid of the classified position, we had started hiring unclassified folks, putting them in charge of departments. And after they put them in charge of those departments, the person that had the civil service skills would have to tell the person that was unclassified how to do it. So actually, the person that had unclassified skills was actually making more money than the person that had classified skills. Y'all remember this, huh? It wasn't too long ago. Wasn't too long. It was under Mitch Landrieu's organization. It was the Democrat. Oh, that wasn't a Republican thing, Gerard. No, it was the Democrat. Skin folk ain't kinfolk all the time. Skin folk ain't kinfolk. And then City Hall really didn't represent the city. Because you go in City Hall and you were like, who the hell are these folks? You ain't know them folks. I don't need to say no more. Ask Mitchell J. What you say, Alvin?
Well, G, how you doing today, man?
What's going on with you?
Oh, nothing much, bud. Just trying to get across here, and I fly by listening to the WBOK family. Well, G, you took some of my thunder there, because, and I'll start back with the last comment and go forward, because that's how we got all these urban development strategist people.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
To do what? What do you do? Urban strategy?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, you was an urban strategist.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Some straight BS. Hashtag doo-doo. So, now when we talk about the government, because I really was trying to wait because I wanted to chime in on that insurance deal with Tim Templer, too, because remember, it was us on this station that gave the warning shot about him not going to be worth the doggone diddly squat as an insurance commissioner.
Right.
You know, especially when you come with the last conversation I had with the governor was maybe May of last year. What? So what you been doing this last year? Oh, that's right. You were, man, anyway, stay on point. So when we talk about, like you just said, about us being just following the leader, and you made the relevant point, because if we not paying attention in the city, here it is again, WBOK family, we sending a warning shot across the bow, because remember what we said last week, Gerard? Oh, they coming back for more, and they got a plan in case something fails.
And here
so
we
the
go,
plan failed,
and
so here we go.
Here we go.
So here we go.
Here
so
we go.
Now, if I get you people out these jobs.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for the pause.
If I get y'all out these jobs,
thank you for the pause.
y'all ain't gonna be worried about voting because you ain't gonna have no job to worry about anyway. Because we gonna have our own people in position anyway. Because the next thing we gonna have to watch, G, is watch the language and the moves that are gonna be made towards, around, and for the title of the mayor of the city of New Orleans.
Mm-hmm. I would not be surprised though if the move is to make the mayoral seat, the mayor's seat, become more of a kiss the babies and wave, and we have a city manager. I would not be surprised if that's the move that's going.
Because look, there are St. Tammany Parish already trying to do that.
Mm-hmm.
They just had a news article today about that, about they want to be able to appoint the mayor, and the mayor's going to answer to the city council. People, that's their way of testing it out in their system with the quote-unquote voters of the non-African American persuasion to be able to test something out on them that vote not for them also.
So I'm a little bit more. Maybe I don't want to call it. I don't want to call it ruthless in my decision process, but it's gonna sound that way to many of you. So my thought pattern is, I get rid of civil service, and it allows me to come in with a crew to say, hey, we need to shrink down city government as well as state government, and we can fire everybody at will. Then I'm going to replace some of those jobs with people that I want to be in there. And then by the time we get to
I ain't going to interrupt.
No, as soon
Pause.
as go ahead.
Because no. Go ahead.
No. I want to get rid of those folks. And then when it's time for a new mayor to come in here, I can put back civil service. I can have somebody to put it back. But now I done got rid of those folks. There'll be a bunch of lawsuits, but that's going to take a lot of time. But my point is, if they get rid of it and can fire all those folks, then I done cut down on how many people that I have in city or either state government. Then you're going to allow me to run this thing the way that I want to run it.
That ain't ruthless. That's diabolical.
That's the same thing that's happening up in Washington, D.C. Because let me tell you something. I said something yesterday, and it's coming to fruition today. I said, how do you let the president of the United States put these tariffs and make the stock market hit rock bottom? He is the only person in the world who had control yesterday of the Dow Jones, the S&P, all those numbers going down as far as stock prices. And then you get on your little Twitter and tell everybody it's a great time to buy before you make the announcement that you're going to put a 90-day suspension on the raising of those tariffs. And yesterday they called the Trade Commission man who's in charge of it. They called him to the table, the committee did, and said, you're trying to tell us that you didn't know he was going to do that? That to me sounds like inside trading. I was like, bingo.
Thank you. Side parallel, not the same thing, but on the same plane. Proud Boys, stand by and stand down. What happened the next year?
What happened to what?
When he told, like I said, sideways parallel, different thing, but same arena. When he told the Proud Boys in a debate to stand by and stand down. What happened the next year?
They got
January 6th.
Oh, I mean, you got January 6th, but guess what? We got a committee together and said we're going to get them. And now you can have them to a situation where they have just been pardoned. All of them.
Thank you. And now you ain't got no committee, so if they find out about insider trading, what committee you going to have? Because all of them got paid.
So you got billionaires that went to the market and bought low.
Thank you.
And then you had the billionaire president telling them that now's a great time to buy. And then he removed or should I say pause those tariffs. And now guess what? You're the only person in the world that knew that you were going to do that. And if I could see the number of folks or who that list is of folks that bought those stocks, I can guarantee you they his friends.
I guarantee we can like they said, bet a dollar to a dime.
Mm-hmm.
Or a dime to a dollar, whatever they go. You know, and it's like I don't even know how to explain it, G, because it's like they really, and people in power and really think we not paying attention and really think we don't understand or really think we don't believe our lying eyes.
We don't. We don't. We don't. Think about it for a minute. We as a community, and I say we, that means everybody.
Yes.
We're allowing this to happen. We put him back in
All
place.
day.
We put him in office. What you think?
All day. And they're going to have the audacity to come back and double down with, well, he just making it great for him. Okay, well, some of it I can understand, but some of this, come on, bro. Come on, man.
And I really feel in this whole scenario that your boy is following right behind him.
Absolutely.
For the state of Louisiana.
Absolutely. How could he not? You got the left and the right hand. You got Steve Scalise and you got Mike Johnson. How could you not, G?
So I ask anybody within the state of Louisiana, what's the point of getting rid of civil service? For what reason?
Thank you.
It's protection of the people. So what you want to get rid of it for? For what reason? Unless you're trying to do something.
You're definitely trying to do something. We know now.
Civil service protections have been here for umpteen years.
Have been a day. Just like the Constitution and the rule of law. Because and think about this, G. That's what other point I wanted to make. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember if I heard on WBOK or I heard, but I know I remember hearing it. And when we were talking about the amendments and why some of those things, especially when it came down to Amendment 1, what the legislature gets to appoint judges or what have you. Because if not the city of New Orleans, the state of Louisiana, or if not backwards, if not the state of Louisiana, the city of New Orleans, we have the highest per capita of black judges in the United States.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So when you, like you just said, and when you start looking at civil service protections and taking those away, those judges fall under that. So, i.e., goes back to Amendment number 1. If we can't appoint our own judges, we go, okay, no problem.
But see, we don't
appoint
them.
We're going to get them out when we can.
No, we don't appoint them. We don't appoint judges. We vote them.
We elect them.
Yep. But we
but
don't
if they're under that civil service protection,
now
that Amendment 1 gets rewritten again, and now in another way, back to the ballot we go for that amendment.
Well, I know that within that set of amendments, if you read through them, that we were going to allow the legislature to appoint judges. We don't appoint judges. We vote them in or we say no, either or. It's elections. But we were going to, with those amendments, allow the legislature to appoint judges to be in those different areas. Now, civil service protections will allow us to have those protections. You can't fire me because of you have to have cause. Mm-hmm. With this is an at-will state. We're trying to make those civil service protections go away so that those that have them will also be at will. So I'll be able to say, oh, yeah, by the way, we need to do the same thing and cleanse city and state government of all these folks and release them because they ain't doing nothing. And we'll be able to, go in and say with us, and some say a scalpel, but others have said that it's a wrecking ball. Mm-hmm. We'll be able to get rid of them too. So they'll just fire you at will, and nothing can be done about it.
Period. And if you don't agree to what our agenda and what we're trying to do, because remember, we are conditioned to failure. So since we are conditioned to failure, I got to make sure you see that I have almighty power and I can make all decisions for you, and I'm going to make the best decisions for you and your family.
Now, I want everybody to understand something. This ain't just been done by the Republicans. This was also done by the Democrats. This was done with Mitch Landrieu and his folks, and it was also done by Surpass and his folks with putting that commander situation in the NOPD. So, but anyway, I got to take my break. Thank you, Alvin. Appreciate you much, man. All right, Pop Jones, hold on. We coming back. We got more in just a minute, y'all.
Hi, I'm Leo Jackson, host of Sunday Gospel here every Sunday morning, 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. and 12 o'clock till 2 p.m. You don't want to miss this move of God. It happens only on WBOK. You listen to all day long.
Connect with NOLA Public Schools. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and X for the latest updates. Sign up for District Digest, our official newsletter where we share district achievements, celebrate student successes, and keep you informed about our vision of providing a high-quality education. And don't miss our school board meetings. Watch in person or live stream on YouTube. Stay informed. Stay engaged. Visit NOLAPublicSchools.com today. Again, that's NOLAPublicSchools.com.
Welcome to Chemical of the Month by the community scientists at Rise St. James. This month we spotlight phthalates, chemicals added to plastics, especially PVC, to make them more flexible and durable. But there's more. Research shows phthalates may disrupt hormones, affect reproductive health, and contribute to environmental pollution impacting our communities. Join us as we explore how these additives shape our everyday lives and the world around us. For more details, visit risestjames.org. Empower your knowledge with Rise.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
If someone asks,
Yeah!
let them know you listen to WBOK. Here we go! The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. A couple of things, too, that I'm going to get into within probably in the next hour. I'm going to go through Chapter 3 of Local Government Part C of the Local Civil Service Rules here for the state and local government in Louisiana, which is an overview. It was actually through 2012 through 2016. Some things probably did change, but I just got a text message. Somebody said, Gerard, do you really know what you're talking about here when it come down to what the NOPD did? Absolutely. You got to remember, we paid a whole lot of attention to what was going on during that time. I tried to interview that man every time, at least once or twice a month. He ain't like coming, but he came. So when we started talking about what the position was, so let me give it to you so that you'll understand it, because I already understand it. So let me give it to you so that you'll understand it. When we started talking about NOPD, at the time, everybody with NOPD that is an officer, that is a paid officer, has civil service protections. When you have messed up, when something has happened, when you say you didn't do it, I might say you suspended or you can be fired. You have the right at that time as a civil service employee to file for a grievance against whoever's doing this and saying, hey, I got my day in court. So you have civil service protections. Civil service will then bring you in and say, okay, cool. You're not fired. You can be reinstated. And you have that ability to be reinstated because it's supposed to be, let me make sure that I got this right. So I want to read it exactly right. I don't want anybody to ever think that I just made something up. In New Orleans, city employees in the classified service, it's called classified, have civil service protections. This includes all city employees except those in the unclassified service. So remember, in Senate Bill 8, they're trying to make this classified service, which is civil service, unclassified. So you won't have those protections, which these unclassified service includes elected officials and some appointed officials and other specific categories. Now, why is that important? Because if you go back when Surpass was the chief of police, he wanted to make a new position of those in authority because he did not want those captains to be over those different districts. So you had commanders. Why did you have commanders? Because those commanders, that commander position, did not have civil service protections. Meaning that if you were promoted to commander, you then gave up some of your protections because you now are under commander instead of being a captain. So guess what? You operated on behalf of the chief of police. You couldn't do what he asked you to do. I get you out of there, and you don't have any rights. You're at will. What do you do have a right is? Well, if I get you out of there, you go back to captain instead of being a commander. So those that wanted to be in charge and have those commander and be in charge of a district, you were at the will of the chief of police. What you say, Pop Jones?
Hey, G-Man.
What's going on with you?
Man, I'm trying to figure this thing out. I said I was born at night, but I wasn't born last night.
I'm glad that was true.
I'm telling you, look like ever since that little boy said what he said about his dad, get out my daddy's seat, and I don't know what else he said. Look like this person is going mad, man.
Oh, you talking
But
about
I'm wondering, G-Man, where, I mean, all this stuff is coming from, but there's another thing I want to ask. How come you so damn, excuse my French.
How come what now?
How come you so smart that you able to dig up all of this like this?
Oh, I mean, I'm not going to call myself a student of the game. I surround myself by people that know a lot more than I do. And if I don't know it, I can pick up the phone and ask them and try to deliver it. I don't do a good job all the time of delivering the information. I depend a lot on you all, just like y'all depend on me.
But you always searching, man. You searching and you give it. You give it, G-Man.
Well, we try to. We try to.
Yeah,
but I'm
you're
looking
doing
at
a beautiful job, man. I tell you, I just be at all listen to you, man. And you got them pegged right. You know, is what's going on. He disrespecting everybody. You know, he telling everybody the same thing that he told them people about bringing up the against them and say they coming to him and begging him and kissing his you know what.
Yep.
But he's
that
telling
didn't sound
the
good at
same
all.
thing to the Congress and the Senate. I don't need y'all.
They're
Y'all
telling me I don't need
me.
them, and they can't they can't bargain or make deals like he can. So I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
That's what's going on.
It's actually pretty
Wow.
stupid. I can't depend on somebody, Pop, that has had at least 6 bankruptcies and has been banned.
Go ahead on.
Has banned from the state that you live in, which is New York, from doing
Go
business
ahead on, G-Man.
because your nonprofit organization is doing something that is illegal, and you've been caught doing so. How do you expect
in other
me?
words,
And many of the
man,
economists have come back.
did everything but commit murder, huh?
Well, all the economists have come back to say that that equation that he used is wrong.
Jesus.
So we may be operating the entire economy on a system that he's put together that is absolutely wrong. Somebody made a mistake. Sound like somebody that was probably operating the Louisiana or should I say the New Orleans school system and made a mistake and missed out $36 million.
What about the people that's following him and carrying out his program, G-Man? What about them?
They ain't gonna say nothing. What you think they're gonna say? They're gonna put themselves on the chopping block. They're not gonna put themselves on the chopping block.
What they gain? They working against themselves.
Some of them people would rather lose their shirt than to put themselves on the chopping block.
Have mercy.
All of us looking tittyless.
Gee, man, I'm gonna just keep listening, man, and learning. Boy,
I don't know what
just
you
don't
learn.
know
I
what
don't know
to
what
say.
you're learning.
It's almost unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't know what you're learning, but whatever it is, I'm hoping helping somebody.
Saturday Night Live couldn't beat this.
I don't know, but they doing a good job.
Oh man, I'm telling you.
So we'll see.
All right, G man, keep on doing what you're doing, man.
Yes, sir. I'll talk to you in a minute.
All right.
All right, take care. All right, that's Pop Jones. So, did you all hear didn't anybody see I forgot what the committee name was when they were questioning the guy who's the head of the economic committee, the head of the SEC and something else. And they were like, dude, you trying to tell me that the president of the United States did some type of manipulation of the market and you didn't know that it was going to happen? It sounds like market manipulation. The question is, will it be investigated that way? Let me answer it for you right now. We don't know. But if I did it, I don't know if any of you are seeing this section of what's happening with what's his name? Obama. Obama is saying if he did something like that, he would be under the jail by now. So we'll see. We shall see. We shall see. But your economist, your president, has made it a point to tell everybody that this is going to be the best thing and make America rich, and they all lining up, all 70 countries lining up to kiss his you know what. You should hear him kiss my ass. I'm like, I don't think there's that much kissing in the world. But we allow and we get what we voted for. We got what we voted for. Or should I say, we got what you didn't vote for. And I hope you're happy. Because, I mean, for me, it's nothing but content. I love it because I got plenty of content to be able to talk to y'all every single day. I could go for 3-4 hours. Don't take that for real. I ain't going no more than I got to go. Because some of this you got to just look at and say, how in the world did we get here? How did we get here? All right, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get ready for our next hour and talk about some of this other stuff. We're going to come back here and talk about civil service protections and also talk about this Senate Bill 8. I want y'all to write this day down on your calendar. What is the day? The 10th? The 10th of the month. I want you to write it down on your calendar. And write it down on your calendar because I'm telling you that it's going to come up in the next week or two, and everybody going to be like, oh, Lord. But you all will already be in the know. Senate Bill 8 is trying to get rid of your protections for civil service. Trying to get rid of them. All right. We'll talk more about that and get you in at 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. I wish I could get those folks from civil service to speak, but y'all know they got civil service protection, so they can't pick up the phone and call and talk to me about it. But you don't have to tell me who you are. You can be anonymous. You can be Mr. or Mrs. Anonymous. We'd be more than happy to hear from you. How you feel about it? If your civil service protections were taken away, would you be scared that you were going to get fired? You should. Look at what happened to the captains of the NOPD when they put the commander position in there. They had the captains of the NOPD sitting in a horse trailer out there at City Park typing. Oh, I'll tell you more about that one in a minute. Everybody hold tight. News is next.
the campus of Xavier University. WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know with BIN News. The Supreme Court ruled President Trump can fire 2 independent agency watchdogs, reversing a lower court decision. Affected are members of the National Labor Relations Board and Merit Systems Protection Board. Arguments from the officials' lawyers will be heard next. New York City Mayor Eric Adams allows ICE to set up an office at Rikers Island for criminal investigations. Critics, including Black City Council Speaker Adrian Adams, say this endangers New Yorkers and supports Trump's deportation policies. Transgender pilot Joe Ellis sues conservative influencer Matt Wallace for falsely linking her to the D.C. plane crash that killed 67 people. Wallace's viral post led Ellis to fear for her safety, requiring private security. And a Minecraft movie is set to dominate the box office again, expected to make $65 to $82 million this weekend. It debuted with $162 million, the best opening of the year. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
Hey, folks, welcome back. My number 504-582-9422. 504-582-9422. Well, what's interesting is that we're probably going to be one of the first ones to jump on this topic. And I was let, I more than likely will tell you, which I'm going to tell you the truth, that you know, this is interesting because I was informed. Yeah, that's a good word. I was informed about this through my good friend who said, Gerard, we need to get the word out. And I was like, what, Lisa? We need to get the word out. So why all y'all trying to do put the boots on the ground and learn to dance? Where them fans at? That in itself. If we probably put as much effort in trying to learn a line dance into the buffoonery, I'm not even calling the line dance buffoonery, I'm calling what these folks are putting out here. And what they're putting out here is buffoonery that's going to affect you. All right, so let me go back just to tell you how this affected a group of folks. Oh, Lord, turn that off. Turn it off. I'll turn that off. Now, I done got to the point now when that song come on the radio, I just turn the whole radio off. I'm tired of it. So let me go back to the administration of Mitchell J. Landrieu, who was your mayor, who then was looking for a police chief, said I'm doing a national search. But it was folks during that time, God bless her soul, Mama D, and many of those folks that were on this subcommittee of the police search that included Donatus King, that included a whole bunch of folks. Donatus King at that time was the president of the NAACP, the New Orleans branch. What's the lady's name that was the head of the Yaya group at that time? I forgot her name. But they walked off of that committee for the police search because they felt that they were being railroaded and not included into the search because they were not able to see the folks that were a part of this, meaning all the folks that had put in their application to become, or their presentation to become the next police chief, that committee, that subcommittee, that local committee was not able to see who those folks were. It was the independent police organization that chose the 3 candidates, and none of them had anything to do with it. So they all walked off. They were like, we don't want to be a part of this. This is not what we signed up for. We signed up to be those folks that were going to be able to see the presentations that were put forth and be able to make the decision and help choose who our next police chief was going to be. And then you had Mama D. Ooh, Mama D raised holy hell. I don't even know how you put holy and hell in the same conversation piece. But if you do, that's what she raised. And she was not lying. She was telling the truth. I don't care who she agitated. She told the truth. She said, we already know little Andrew, because she called him little Andrew. We already know who you gonna choose, and that's Sir Pass, because he drove for your daddy's administration. He drove the car for your daddy's administration. I'm like, wow. Wow. And she wasn't lying. She kept saying it. She didn't call him Little Andrew. She called him Little Moon. That's what she called him, Little Moon. Boy, that when I tell you that agitated that man, boy, I was starting to call him that Little Moon. Little Moon. And no, I'm sorry. Let me stop. Get off of that. And then next thing you know, the choice was made. And it was Sir Pass. One of the things that he did when he came in here was create a whole bunch of havoc. Everybody and their mom was telling me stories about this what he did, this what he did, this what he did, and we were asking questions. Then he had his own crew. Then we started asking about them doing different dirty issues. Then he went forth and started saying, I want another division added to the rank of NOPD. And so we're going to make commanders. Well, commanders, the position for commander was then agreed to by, I guess, the courts, but it was not a classified civil service position. So guess what they were doing? Skipping over the captains of NOPD. And those captains, after they had taken a test, they had been trued and tried on their position, the commander became over the captains. But those captains were pissed, and I would have been pissed too. And the reason why? Because most of those commanders were at some point lieutenants that jumped over having to go through the civil service test to become a captain. So the commander was actually leading the district instead of the captain. Sir Pass took all the captains of the NOPD and actually put them all in a horse trailer in City Park. What? Yeah, he put them in a horse trailer in City Park. And those captains were follow-up, typing out reports, making telephone calls. It was almost like they were glorified receptionists. But the captain position in NOPD means that person, man or woman, whoever it is the leader of something. They're the leader of a district. They're the leader of a department. And they're the leaders. So you have now violated the rights of those men and women and violated what was in the amendments when they put together the Home Rule Charter about NOPD. Ended up going to court. Took years. So you had all these captains being put in a horse trailer because you ain't like them. And you had one, I think the NOPD at that point in time had one major. They had one major. All of them in the horse trailer. Now, the platoons were now being led by lieutenants that got commander badges, which to me was just the jump over captain. You just now are putting yourself in a position where you don't have civil service protections because you now operate at the will of the police chief. And if you do something that the police chief don't like, you now are being knocked back down. Your commander position is taken away from you, and ain't jack you can do about it because you are unclassified. You are not a classified person. You might get a bump up in your raise or whatever it was as a commander, but you are not protected. So if you do something that the chief didn't like, he could say you fired. And ain't jack you can do about it because you are operating at the will of the police chief. Now, understand something. You were fired as the commander, but you do have the right to go back to your previous position, which was more than likely a lieutenant. But my question would be, how you go back to lieutenant? You done told your captain what to do because you was his boss for a minute. And now that you ain't his boss, you go back to lieutenant. He gonna fire your butt up. He gonna have you scrubbed in the toilets. The toilets. I said the toilets. Because you think that you in charge. You done messed up and you done lost your commander seat. But you still had civil service protections as a lieutenant. So when you got fired as a commander, and somebody did, I forgot who exactly what it is. I won't call their name anyway. Give them a little credibility. You go back to lieutenant. They lit you up like you was the 4th of July around there. Your nickname was Firecracker. So think about that for a minute, and I use that as an example of getting rid of civil service. Now, there's more that I'm going to use because I ain't finished with Mitchell Andrew either. I'm not. But under civil service protections, you vote and say, okay, yeah, we need to let them have the civil service protections for these folks. How many folks do you know that are career civil service folks down at City Hall? Police officers, work for the state, that know that handbook and what can be done and what can't be done. And they know it by heart because they've been there for a long time. And so here we go with Mitch Landrieu. What did he do? He started hiring unclassified folks down at City Hall in charge of the different divisions of City Hall that had no clue what they were doing, but had them in there paying them $70,000, $80,000, $90,000. Didn't look like me and you. Boy, I'm telling you, boy, we had Swiss bread down at City Hall at one point in time. Even somebody that was a greeter. And you were like, who in the hell? When you walk into City Hall, what you get? You got the man that's standing down there, the woman that's standing down there saying, put your stuff on the conveyor belt so that we can x-ray it and walk through these daggone magnometers. They had greeters down there. Hi, how are you? How are you? How are you? I'm like, Buffy and Jody is your greeter. Buffy and Jody, the only thing was missing was Mr. French. Hello, how are you? How are you? I was like, what the hell? Then you had the classified board. So understand something. All those salaries, that's public knowledge. So you start bringing up the salaries of some of the folks that were there. I was like, wait a minute. When did we get these urban specialists? What's an urban specialist? They were classified as urban specialists. Did anything urban specialize? Anybody specialize in urban stuff? Did we have anything that happened here? I wonder what the urban specialists did during the Mitchell Andrew. And y'all know I really don't give a damn about whether you was a Democrat or whether you was a Republican. If you ain't doing crap, you more than likely gonna get called out. And taking credit for everything. Everything. So it made me start asking questions. Why we got this $80,000 salary, $96,000, and the next person that is civil service was making $24,25? But you making 90 and you unclassified. But you can't do nothing because you don't know the rules. See, there are rules that you got to go by when you are dealing with city government. So what you had was these people making $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 having to go to these people that are career civil service and asking them, could they do different things? Because you don't know the rules. But those civil service employees that are making $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 a year will tell you, nope, can't do it that way. Nope. Why? Because the rules say you can't. Here's the rules. Pull up the book. Nope, can't do that. Nope. I ain't lying. Can y'all imagine how many times my phone rang with somebody saying they just don't know what they doing? And I never forget, boy, I had started getting so disgusted about the way this was working. To the point where it got down to Mardi Gras, and I was looking at the television. I was trying to get myself together to go down to Gallia Hall, and I was watching the television, and I'll never forget that them fools was on TV saying, look at our mayor. He know how to daggone dance. Look at him. He know how to do the shuffle, the Cupid shuffle. I was like, what? Look at him, and he's got rhythm. Do I need to take my break before I cuss? I do. Well, I ain't got to the point where I was like, y'all gotta be kidding me. That's all y'all worried about. He know how to do the Cupid shuffle. Our mayor got rhythm. That's all you could see. Yeah, take my break before I start cussing. More coming up, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right, Miss Jones. Miss Jones, remember. Miss Jones, like, he know how to wobble. That's what it was. It wasn't the Cupid shuffle, it was wobble. Just go ahead, bro. I'm going to say something.
That's right. It's party time each and every Sunday night at 7 p.m. on WBOK. It's the Throwback Throwdown with DJ Wick as he brings you the best in old school from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the early 2Ks. Plus, the party goes to another level at 9 p.m. with the Throwback Throwdown Party Mix to round out the night. It's the Throwback Throwdown Sunday nights at 7 p.m. on WBOK 1230 a.m. and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
NOLA Public Schools is excited for the rest of this 24-25 school year journey with our families, watching our students dive into learning, growth, and success. As the school year continues, our dedicated educators are focused on keeping every student engaged and motivated. Let's keep embracing new challenges, celebrating achievements, and supporting each other to make the rest of this year even more impactful. Stay connected with your school and NOLA PS through our social media channels for updates and resources. We're here to help our scholars attend today, achieve tomorrow.
The National World War II Museum. Located in the Warehouse District of New Orleans, the National World War II Museum tells the story of America's experience in the war that changed the world, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. Visit them online at www.nationalww2museum.org for time tickets and safety information.
New Orleans, if you know a young adult or you are a young adult, listen up. This is your chance to level up your future.
Job One's Young Adult Career Expo is going down April 16th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 1307 Orinthia Castle Haley Boulevard.
Put on your best outfit, grab your resume, and meet employers from across the city.
Some of them might even hire you on the spot. This is your moment. Get ready with Job One.
Tell a teen, tell a cousin, tell everybody 16 and up. Register now at job1nola.org.
Paid for by the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. The Reality Check on WBOK 1230 AM.
Welcome back. Coming up at 6 o'clock, Arnie and Carrie going to be in the air chair. Make sure that you check them out. That's about, 40 minutes? About 38 minutes from now. So make sure you check them out. What you say, Mr. Bill?
Good afternoon.
How you doing, sir?
Fair to middling. In the same vein of Jeff Landry trying to do his thing where either you can diminish or dismiss an individual in certain positions so you can work your show without resistance. There was a vote today in the House of Representatives that passed. It's not going to make it through the Senate. Chances are slim, so I've been told, where the House of Representatives have voted to vote on the strength of federal judges, where they've been called activist rogue judges, federal judges. So we can eliminate those guys and so individuals can't take certain things to court and keep on rocking. It's the same thing. Like you say, those two guys are holding hands.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is just copy what I do, and I'm going to do the same thing.
Exactly. Man, can we survive the 2026 midterm?
When I look at how it goes in what is a year and a half, 2 years, I'm looking at it and just saying to myself, I hope that all these folks are hurting somewhere, that said this is their state, both of them, because if they're hurting, maybe it will change their mind about where they need to be placing their votes.
Exactly. The only strength I have is my vote, really. I don't have a bank to go out and produce signs, form an organization, try to lead a movement, anything like that. The only thing I have is that vote. Now, I wish more of us would use it properly.
Well, we're not going to do that. Well, somebody got to lose something to look around and say, okay, let's get everybody motivated. You either got to be motivated behind a person or a thing. I'm not even going to say a place. I'm going to say a person or a thing, almost like a noun, the definition of a noun. You got to be motivated by a person. It's supposed to be person, place, or thing, but I'm going to say a person or a thing. I don't know about a place.
The information that you bring forward, that's why a lot of individuals are saying, well, gee, why don't you run for something? Man, no. Keep doing it how you doing it.
I'd rather bring the information and have that conversation.
Explain it to.
And Mr. Bill, I ain't bragging. I really am not. I get probably on a daily. I would say
get more out in the position you're in now.
I get about 3 or 4 calls a day, at least four of people that got some type of information that want to put it out. Some of it ain't worth it. I'm just be honest with you. Some of it is not, and some of it is a lot of BS that they're not giving out information. They want to talk about what they're doing so that they can get some kudos. And I don't think that's worth it either. I think that if you're going to talk about the issues that will affect people, then I'm here for you. But if you just want to talk about you because you're a narcissist or that you're just, trying to stroke yourself, you don't need no pat on the back. Keep doing what you're doing.
Like you've noticed, I haven't been calling as often as I used to. I'm just taking information in and hoping that things get the more ears than we have thus far, and so we can make a stand.
Yeah, well, our stand right now, I think that yes, those amendments woke a lot of folks up, especially when you start playing with the babies. But I will say that I'm hoping that this is not a fluke, and I'm hoping that there are more people that are paying attention now since this election, this past amendment election, that will see that we are dealing with. I don't know no other way to say it, but I think that we're dealing with a bunch of BS. That's going to be detrimental to us.
Individuals want to control and dominate.
Yes.
Like I've been saying, hell, things keep going in this direction, and if we wouldn't stand up like on March 29th to certain things, hell, we'll be getting it wouldn't surprise me if we'd be getting our poor boys and crawfish from the side window at a restaurant.
Yeah.
They might want to institute something like that again.
Yes, indeed.
Let's try it. Let's promote this.
Mm-hmm.
They'll go on with it. It's just that serious.
Yeah.
In my mind.
Yeah.
Okay, G.
All right, Mr. Bell. Thank you, sir.
That's the good work, my man.
Appreciate you much.
Carry on.
Talk to you in a minute. All right, D.
Hello?
Hey.
Yeah, hi, Gerard. On a higher note, I just wanted to touch on if you heard anything about April 20th.
Weed Day?
A little bit bigger than that, because the undertones are that 47 is looking at, to me, it would be an abuse of power, but the word martial law. And my take on it is, I've got a son in the military, and some things are starting to happen,
How is it going to be martial law? From what? Come on, tell me what you're talking.
Well, it's just the undertones that's been around for a minute, because if martial law is declared, then what's the next point? I'm just wondering if you heard anything.
I haven't heard that one, but you're going to make me look into it. But give me some insight. Why would they be declaring martial law?
I don't have too much insight. That's why I was calling you to see if you had any info. And I know it was done in South Korea a while back.
That was due to the vote. That was due to the vote, and then there was I think more so than anything else that they had a riot because he declared it, because the person that was running at that time lost, and he was like election fraud, and he declared martial law. And then those people
Right.
weren't putting up with it. They were like, "You lost, get out."
Exactly, because I'm just wondering about the way Congress is going back and forth. Because we do have some Republicans that's going head to head with him, and even though a few things are getting by, not everything is getting by that he wants. He wants total control. So my thing is, a way to do that is one, abuse of power is that. So. And the way he does things, he does it and waits for the effect. So,
he
that's
is using his office in an abuse of power, because the issues that are coming up in front of him, it's supposed to be 3 branches of government. You got the executive,
exactly,
and he's not using them. He's doing everything in executive orders.
Exactly.
So a lot of those. And where are we now? Over 200? Over 200 executive orders?
I heard that a few of them were knocked down by, of all people, Ted Cruz. How you like that? But you're absolutely right. He's just one executive order after another to see what's going to stick.
Right.
But the problem is the American people, if they're not waking up now because of the tariffs, because I just heard now it's up to 145% against China.
Yes, because that equation that they used was wrong.
Right. And then also we're starting to have more near misses because they're cutting back on the federal government with all the agencies, and now you got air traffic controllers that's trying to handle more with less, and now you're endangering people's lives. It's a mess.
Well, they had another helicopter to go down today at the Hudson River.
Yeah, and I think 2 planes touch wings also, you know.
Well, the plane, the helicopter that went down today killed 6 people.
Yeah. So, man, I'm just saying.
Welcome to the
I
chaos.
guess the people have to wake up on both sides.
Welcome to the chaos. This is chaotic. If this ain't chaotic, I don't know what is.
Right. So I guess it was written up above, man. I guess this had to happen to either unify people or to wake up people.
Yeah.
Because he is definitely abusing power.
Well, I'm gonna look up on the 20th. Other than it being weed day, so I'm gonna look to see what this is going on with this martial law. So,
yeah. Okay.
I'll look it up.
All right, Gerard.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Rick Asner, what you say? How you doing, sir?
What you say, G man? How you doing?
Trying to be like you when I grow up. That's all.
I like that. But I'm a blessed man, so I ain't gonna complain.
There you go.
You know your show is always on point, right? You give out I can't find the word tremendous, wonderful, great information to the people. And see, I know we as the people are getting beat up on all fronts.
Mm-hmm.
But you know the positive I saw?
What's that?
That election went local, because our politics started local. That election where the members was on point.
Yes, sir.
And we had to vote, and the community came together to let their voice be heard, especially the black community, because sometimes we be asleep at the wheel. You know, them other folks like to vote their interests, and our interests were in common at that time. But I think the most important point in all that is the information got to our people across the board.
Yes.
In every segment. The church, the activists, business people, mainly we got small business, but the business people all had that same mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And what I like about it is, from my standpoint, WBOK, you, Dr. Wyatt, was definitely on point, sounding the alarm. We got to do this. And if that strategy worked that time, it could work in the times to come, because there are going to be other times to come. And what made the information so powerful was it was real simple. You know, take this lane, take this avenue, and it will bring us to victory. And if we keep doing it like that, we'll have more victory. Now, of course, like us, we always a day late and a dollar short. We let that old governor get in, right? Thank God for our congressman, Troy Carter, for doing a wonderful job, and all those elected officials who stand up. And there's many of them, but it's got to be some more that's going to stand up and quit kissing the powers that be behind and look out for the interests of the people. Man, politics are local. School board is killing us dead, killing our children dead. They're finding every way to blame somebody, but who's really responsible? It ain't the charter. It's Orleans Parish School Board who refuse to take power and do what's good for the people. The message been brought to them, but sometimes you got to show them better you can tell them. Stop letting New York come with these slick commercials and a whole bunch of money to change our mind. Do what we know is best. Look at here, I'm going to say this and get off. See, politics, it's real, but when we simplify the message, it makes things real simple. We got a mayor's race coming up and council people. The same message that went out to unify for the good of the people. Now, that might sound like a crazy man because, you know, our people tend to have different interests. Thank God for the ones that do it because it's right and because it's real and it's going to benefit all the people, even though it might not really benefit them. We got to stop putting people in office who just won't be in office to have the glory and not get down in the valley where the people are and bring everybody up. Now, that might sound like a fantasy, but I've been around here a long time. And we don't lose every time.
Nope.
And we just got to be mindful. When I say we, I'm talking about my people who I know best. We got to be mindful that we aren't losers all across the board. Our children don't deserve to be in schools or in a community where there's a lack of love. Our children, which is our hope, we letting them go by the wayside. So when we look at what's going to happen to generations to come, we better get up off it and do what's best for our community. I often quote this, and it's from the last poet, and nobody hardly remembers the last poet, but they were rappers, they wrote about the late, great black man, just like they wrote about the Indians. And if we don't watch it, we just going to be a casualty of all that foolishness. But on the real side, the black community is the head of the spear. It's the head of the spear. And everybody else rides our coattail. Well, so be it. But the spear got to keep spearing. Because if we do, then our children and all of us will have a chance in this matter. And you say you left out place. You know what the place is? First, I start in the heart. But this community, New Orleans, this is our place, man. We ain't got to run all over the United States and the rest of the world to find just what we need, and it's right here. But we got to be able to see it. You know, when I preach sometime, I talk about the carnal eye, the natural eye, and the spiritual eye. Those that can lead can see with the spiritual eye. And what's in the spirit becomes reality. Man, we just got to wake up, do what we're doing in victory, and keep on marching up the King's Highway. I'm going to hang up and listen. G is good conversing with you, brother.
You know, I'm always interested in what's going on with you, so you know I got some questions for you too. And I'm gonna throw you in your own conversation for a minute, so I hope you're ready for this.
Come on. I was gonna say we talk later, but come on.
No. I got to say this because I want everybody to understand that there are a lot of folks out here, and I mean this in the utmost respect to you and a couple other folks that are surrounding themselves with you, and I understand why they do, because true leadership may not be Well, I'll say this way: true leadership can be hard to find, but when it comes to you and the men that you have in your organization with the Fatherhood Roundtable, I know that you mean this community a whole lot of good. These children a whole lot of good, and I always applaud you, Brother Aaron, and a whole bunch of those other men and women that have done the work and continuously do the work. So of course I'm gonna always ask, how can I help when you want me, if you need me to MC, and I always want to get more people to attend the Fatherhood Roundtable, because I think that they got to see for themselves. This ain't something you just do one time a year. This all year. This is all year that these folks are doing stuff with these kids, coming out their own pocket, making sure that they could get what they want. And one thing I know you don't like to do, and you're gonna laugh. I know you're already probably starting to laugh. You don't like to talk about the money, and I can understand and appreciate it, but I'm always gonna push you to say stop coming out of your pocket sometimes, and ask the folks to get in on this organization and bring some resources with them. And those resources, more so than anything, is their time and their money. Because you don't know how many people that you're stopping from being the next child that's going to be incarcerated. You don't know how many folks you're going to stop from going in somebody's window at night and being subject to being shot. You don't even know the presentation that some of these children, they may have never seen a man be a man. And I think that you bring, and your group bring that to the light of these children so that they can see it themselves. And that means everything to a child that don't have nothing, or for a mother that is asking for help. And I think the last time I was standing beside you when the mother came up to you and just basically said, I want my child to be a part of this because I don't have no help. I don't know if that was the grandmama. That was somebody's grandmama or something. But when she asked you, you looked her dead in the face and said, okay, you ain't even hesitate. Okay, bring your child. I said to myself, boy, this is true leadership. This one ain't just for the kids. This is for the community as well. And I'm saying to myself, this is the type of men, women as well, that are doing the work that everybody should be looking for. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
And look, G, I appreciate it, brother. You got me smiling and laughing. We don't do all that we want to do, and surely we could do a whole lot better. But at least we trying, my brother. At least we trying. And thank you, because ever since we met, you've been a supporter. And I truly appreciate that. To be associated with the G-Man is a whole lot of support. Mm-hmm. Thank you, brother. And thank the station, WBOK, always been open to us. So I'm going to get off because I know you got other people want to call. But we're going to talk some more, Doctor.
Anytime. You know me. I know you. We're going to get it together.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rev.
See you later. See you at the round table.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you much. That's Reverend Kasner, y'all. Reverend Kasner be getting it in, man. And I'm going to be his recruiter this year because I want to see all the folks get involved with the Fatherhood Roundtable. It's important. It really is. You want to take the break? All right, let's take the break here. We'll take the break. We'll come back. Get ready to wrap up the show and get you ready for Arnie and Carrie coming up at 6 o'clock, y'all. That's more coming up right here on WBOK.
AURN News.
I'm Ebony McMorris. Republicans in the House are charging ahead with a controversial new bill that critics call a backdoor attempt at voter suppression. The SAVE Act would force Americans to show documentary proof of citizenship in person to register for federal elections. But here's the twist. It's already illegal for non-citizens to vote, and the numbers don't lie. Multiple audits, including in Georgia and North Carolina, found only a handful of cases out of millions of voters. So why this bill? Well, it aligns with the Trump-backed executive order and plays into long-standing MAGA fear-mongering around voter fraud. But the Brennan Center says this could block up to 21 million eligible citizens from registering, people who simply don't have access to the paperwork. And women who've changed their names due to marriage, they'd face a bureaucratic maze to prove who they are. This bill would also end online and mail-in voter registration, hurting rural voters who might have to drive 4 hours just to register. For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
Hey, let me talk to y'all about a public health crisis that we can't afford to ignore or debate. It's a message that is specifically addressed to parents and those of us concerned about the welfare of all children. Measles is back, folks. Not in the pages of a history book, no, not in a faraway country, but right here across our cities, in our schools, in our neighborhoods. To date, there have been 607 cases reported in 22 regions across the country. 505 of those cases infecting unvaccinated children in Texas, our neighbor state just west of us, where 2 children have already died from the disease. This highly contagious disease, which we once had on the ropes thanks to modern medicine, is now spreading like wildfire again. And let's be clear, it's not spreading because science failed us. It's spreading because we failed to listen to science. Unvaccinated children, through no fault of their own, are now on the front lines of a health emergency. Some are too young to be vaccinated. Others are unprotected because of choices made by parents who were influenced by fear, misinformation, or mistrust. These children are vulnerable, and measles isn't just a rash and a fever. It can cause pneumonia, brain swelling, and even death. The science about this is unambiguous. The MMR vaccine is, in fact, safe, effective, and crucial to stopping this disease in its tracks. Yet, despite overwhelming evidence, vaccine skepticism continues to grow among those who initially questioned the COVID-19 vaccine's effectiveness. Fueled by social media myths and discredited studies cited by prominent people who, above all else, should know better. One of the most infamous skeptics was Robert Kennedy Jr., now the National Secretary of Health, if you can believe that. But at last, Kennedy is now urging parents to get their kids vaccinated against measles. This isn't just a personal choice anymore, it's a public risk, because when vaccination rates fall, herd immunity breaks down. What's that? Well, that means even vaccinated individuals, and especially the immunocompromised, are at greater risk. No, this is not the time to be ambivalent. It's time to speak plainly. Choosing not to vaccinate is not a harmless decision. It has real consequences. It endangers the lives of others, particularly the most defenseless among us. So, what can we do? Well, we start by using common sense and returning to facts. We need strong leadership from health officials, honest conversations in our communities, and policies that protect the common good. Schools and public institutions must take a stand. Vaccination should be the absolute rule, not the exception. To the parents who are hesitant, I urge all of you, talk to your doctor, please. Look at the data, understand the stakes. Vaccination isn't just about protecting your child, it's about protecting all of us. This outbreak is a warning for all of us to listen to science and do what's right. For the health of your child, for your neighbor, for your community. This is Norman Robinson, Off the Top.
Attention, WBOK listeners. Are you a fan of the station and want to show your support in style? Well, we've got some exciting news for you. Introducing the official WBOK merchandise, the perfect way to wear your love for the station. Whether you're a longtime listener or a new fan, we've got something for everyone. Head to WBOK1230.com now and grab your WBOK gear before it's gone. When you buy WBOK merch, you're not just getting quality items, you're supporting the station you love.
Hi, this is Cary Grant. Let's elevate every Tuesday through Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. as we discuss the community, the country, and the world, from politics to current events and sports. We look forward to your input and continuing the quality programming on your community station, WBOK. Join us every Tuesday through Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. on Elevated Conversations, the Arnie and Cary Show.
Welcome to Chemical of the Month by the community scientists at Rise St. James. This month, we spotlight phthalates, chemicals added to plastics, especially PVC, to make them more flexible and durable. But there's more. Research shows phthalates may disrupt hormones, affect reproductive health, and contribute to environmental pollution impacting our communities. Join us as we explore how these additives shape our everyday lives and the world around us. For more details, visit risestjames.org. Empower your knowledge with Rise.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
I'm Wendell Pierce. Thanks for making WBOK your station. WBOK.
The Reality Check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, I've been searching for this thing, but I found it. And I need you to hear this. We're going to have we're going to have another discussion about this. We probably going to have another mother conversation about this. This is going to be a mother right here. So I wanted to read part of this because I needed an explanation of what we're going to end up calling unclassified service and classified service. So Section 1 of Senate Bill number 8 by Senator Morris states, and I'm going through this, so I'm not reading the whole thing because it's long. But it is resolved by the legislature of Louisiana, 2/3 of the members elected in each house concurring, that there shall be submitted to the electors of the state for their approval or rejection in the manner provided by law, a proposal to amend Article X, Section 2B, and Section 3B and C of the Constitution of Louisiana. Now, let me stop right there because this is where I want to start. I stopped right there because this is where I won't start. Did that make sense to you? Where am I starting? I'm starting if you notice that all the information that is now coming out of these legislative sessions, the ones that seem to be wanting to be changed, have everything to do with the Constitution of Louisiana. Have you noticed that? We're not trying to change just some old crappy law. We're trying to change the Constitution of Louisiana. Unclassified service, classified service, which is two. So let me give you the unclassified service. The unclassified service shall include the following. Are you all ready for this? So I got the list. Elected officials and persons appointed to fill vacancies in elective office. The heads of each principal executive department appointed by the governor, the mayor, or governing authority of a city. City attorneys. The register of voters, members of state city boards, authorities, and commissions. One private secretary to the president of each college or university. One person holding a confidential position and the one principal assistant or deputy to any officer, board, commission, or authority mentioned. Members of the military or naval forces, teaching and professional staffs, and administrative officers of schools, colleges, and universities of the state, and bona fide students of those institutions employed by any state, parochial, or municipal agency. Employees, deputies, and officers of the legislature and the offices of the governor, lieutenant governor, attorney governor, and mayors of city attorney, of police juries, school boards, assessors, and all offices provided for in Article 5 of this Constitution, except the offices of clerk of the municipal and traffic courts in New Orleans. commissioners of electors, watchers, and custodians and deputy custodians of voting machines. Railroad employees whose working conditions and retirement benefits are regulated by federal agencies in accordance with federal law. The director, deputy director of all employees of the Governor's Office, Homeland Security, and Emergency Preparedness. Additional positions may be added to the unclassified service, and those positions may be revoked by rules adopted by commission, or positions may otherwise be removed from the classified state civil service as provided by law. Now, what's most important right there? This is line number 27. Let me read it again just in case you didn't hear me, because I want to give this to you. Additional positions may be added to the unclassified service, and those positions may be revoked by rules adopted by commission, or positions may otherwise be removed from the classified state civil service as provided by law. What does that mean? Well, if you look at that, if you look at that law, didn't they say judges too? So what could I do? I could tell those laws, those folks, goodbye, and I could appoint my own. Same thing they did in Jackson, y'all. We'll talk about this further. This is just the beginning. All right, Arnie and Carrie coming up next. I will see y'all tomorrow to get the weekend kicked off. Y'all be good.
WBOK online at WBOK12.